Whatever is hunting me is far worse than a time wraith. It can sense the Speed Force, and it's trying to kill me.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Black Flash hype. We gotta talk about Legends of Tomorrow. There are a lot of you that said you were having trouble finding the show too, depending on the country that you live in. Be sure to check online for where to watch Legends of Tomorrow so that we can talk about it every week. And remember, it's on Tuesday nights now in the United States, so you should be able to find it relatively quickly. But new Flash Ring giveaway, all you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment about the episode on the video, and we got a whole bunch of Reverse Flash, Black Flash, Flash Family Speed Force stuff to talk about. I know they twisted everyone's head around a little with explaining how Eobard Thawne had survived from the Flash Season 1 finale when Eddie killed himself, but Eddie's coming back on the Flash, so we'll try to explain everything. So let's do this a little bit different than a normal top 10 video, just because Black Flash was such a big deal in this episode. There was a lot of stuff going on, but he was really like the go-to thing that everybody was asking about. He was a character that was introduced during the Wally West run before Barry Allen came back by Grant Morrison and Mark Millar. They had like a very short run on the Flash where they basically turned Wally into this god of speed. They did this crazy storyline with him. So when you hear stories about Wally being able to do all these crazy things, like travel to the edge of the universe and back in an instant, travel faster than teleporting, that came during their run, which is kind of lost in the continuity, because then Geoff Johns came on the title and he sort of rewrote how the Black Flash works. Barry Allen became the Black Flash for a brief period during Rebirth when the Reverse Flash poisoned him with the negative Speed Force, sort of reversed his polarity. Remember, the Speed Force obeys certain electrical properties. So there's a positive electron charge, there's a negative electron charge. So there is such a thing as the negative Speed Force. The TV show just hasn't gotten into that yet. But during their really brief run, Grant Morrison and Mark Millar introduced this character to challenge Wally West, where he basically learned to outrun death. He was running from his own death. It's this really weird metaphysical idea that Geoff Johns turned into more of a practical thing. Like the Black Flash is an actual physical entity that will kill you if he catches up to you. Anything that he touches. So you can't let him touch you. There's a villain on The Flash next week that's giving them an important lesson for how to fight that. So I did a trailer video for that. I'll add a link at the end of this. The TV show version of the Black Flash is pretty close to the comics, but if you remember, during the Flash Season 2 finale, the Time Wraiths came and changed Zoom into the Black Flash. So now anything that was left of Hunter Zolomon is completely gone. He is fully Black Flash now. He might not even remember if you called him out by name, but they might address that when he goes in the Flash TV show. He can smell the Speed Force. He's just as fast, if not faster, than the Reverse Flash, who's one of the fastest speedsters that we know about. And he's sort of a supercharged version of the Time Wraith, something much, much worse. The reason they brought him back to Legends of Tomorrow first, before bringing him back to the Flash, is all because of Eobard Thawne's story. They explained during Season 2 how Eobard Thawne survived. He was protected by the Speed Force when he was traveling back to find out where Barry Allen lived in time. He had been the enemy of the Flash, but he didn't know where Barry Allen came from. So they surmised that the Speed Force protected him when Eddie Thawne killed himself, killing the Wells version of Eobard Thawne. Cut to Season 3, Barry's created Flashpoint. He's time traveled many times, gone up against the Time Wraiths, and a lot of people are like, wait a minute, how come the Reverse Flash can time travel this much without getting into trouble with the Time Wraiths? So this is the explainer. One, he knows what's coming for him, so he knows how to stay one step ahead. But two, the way they explain it retroactively is that he's been running this whole time. He hasn't been getting away scot-free. It's just that we haven't seen those moments. So it has this whole effect of leveling the playing field within the Legion of Doom, because why would a speedster need the help of two former members of the League of Assassins? I totally love the way they came together in this episode. They just kept making fun of each other. You're dead in the future. You only have one hand. We're two members who used to be part of the League of Assassins, even though I'm the only one that got to be Raish. But it just proves how awesome the villains are this season. So this is why I am hoping so much that they get the Spear of Destiny, and Eobard Thawne, as he explains his plan, fixes the fact that he's a time aberration, so he will continue to exist in the Flash Arrow universe. And what that might mean is that he'll end up bringing Eddie back to life. But the beauty of the spear is a MacGuffin. They sort of made fun of that in the last episode. The spear doesn't matter, it's just a MacGuffin. It's just an object that everybody's going for. So the really awesome thing for the writers is that because it's so powerful, they don't have to explain everything that it can do. So they can bring Eddie back using the spear. They can just have Eobard Thawne fix time so that he can continue to exist. And then the other thing is using it to get rid of Barry Allen without getting rid of the Speed Force in general. So there's still a couple really big concepts from the comics that the TV shows haven't fully explained, like the true nature of the Speed Force, because in a couple different versions of the comic book, Barry has had different relationships. There's a version of the comics that Geoff Johns wrote before Flashpoint where he creates the Speed Force himself. He's sort of like a battery, so when Barry Allen dies, the Speed Force goes away. But then there are other versions of the comics where the Speed Force is just always been there. So there's still lots of questions that the TV shows will explain in future seasons. So the whole idea is that the villains themselves are time aberrations. They're going to use the spear to fix that. But it also mirrors what's going on with the heroes storyline, the Legends. So I loved all their scenes, but Martin Stein's daughter was amazing. The actress that plays her is great. I hope she comes back a bunch more. And it sounds like what's going to happen is that they'll come to the conclusion that some changes to the timeline are okay. Some time aberrations are fine. They don't have to be absolutely strict about it. Logically leaving the door open for Eobard Thawne to fix his situation so that he doesn't have to go away forever, because the Reverse Flash is the greatest enemy of the Flash. You can't get rid of him. Villains like that never die, but there's always some big twist as to how they get defeated and are able to slink away to fight another day. So this sounds like what it's going to be. The heroes make some mistakes themselves and decide that, hey, this is okay, my daughter deserves to exist. So logically, you can understand how Eobard Thawne will be able to fix his time aberration, because under the normal rules, the Time Masters would go after him and erase his aberration so he would cease to exist. So this leaves a lot of questions about what's going to happen with the Legion of Doom in Season 2, because they as a group work so well together. So I'm really hoping that at least some of them come back. I really want the Reverse Flash to come back. John Barrowman's always fantastic in all his scenes. Neil McDonough as Damien Darhk is so much more fun on this show than he was on Arrow. He even made fun of Arrow Season 4. 2016 wasn't my best year. I aim to change that. He was basically taking a big dig at that whole season. So really, like, the only plot hole I saw was that Barry had not fully explained Eobard Thawne to all the people. Like, they didn't know who he was till Martin Stein piped up. But overall, it was a great episode. Some of you said that you liked it even more than you liked The Flash. If it seems like the Legends plot is moving a lot faster, it's because they have fewer episodes. I think I said in the last Legends video that I posted, they only have 17 episodes this season. That might get upped for Season 3. They've already been renewed for Season 3, but they haven't confirmed who's coming back and what the storyline's going to be. There's a whole bunch of stuff we won't find out to the season finale. Usually they tease what's going to be happening in the first episode of the next season. The Rip Hunter twist at the end is just them basically turning him evil by editing his memories. So that's why he looks like he's assassinating General Washington before he becomes President of the United States. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I totally love that they're letting Arthur Darvill be so different in all these different episodes. The other big thing they tease that's coming up is that Captain Cold is coming back to the show. They didn't say which episode, but relatively quickly. In the Black Flash, as I've said, is going to go guest star on The Flash relatively soon as well, but they didn't say exactly which episode. What's happening later tonight is that Arrow is selecting its new Black Canary. They teased her at the end of the last episode, so be sure to check that out. It should be pretty interesting the way they explain her character and how she's going to fit into the team. She's a metahuman Black Canary, so it's getting way more comic booky. And just because everybody seems kind of burned out on DC movie videos, I'll be doing some new Marvel movie stuff, as well as Game of Thrones and Star Wars tomorrow. So a whole bunch of awesome stuff coming in the next couple days. But congratulations to the new Flash Ring giveaway winner. Griffin Karamlu, please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. There was a new round that started in this video, so I'll announce the winner when I post that Arrow video later tonight. While you wait for that, click here for the Flash episode and click here for the Flash trailer. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you in the next video.